Getting a closer look at one of the search warrants in connection to the Idaho student murders. This one from Bryan Kohberger's parents' Pennsylvania home, garage, and car. Investigators seized more than 60 items in all, including a gun, 3 empty magazine clips, and a pocket knife. 2 knives, a Glock handgun with 3 empty magazines, along with a treasure trove of computers, hard drives, and handwritten notes. Just some of the dozens of items law enforcement hauled out of the Pennsylvania home where Bryan Kohberger was arrested late last year. A newly unsealed arrest warrant offering the clearest picture yet of what police were looking for in Kohberger's parents' house, what they found and what they didn't. The very first item listed, a knife, no manufacturer, description, or other details included. No indication if it could be the murder weapon that police are still believed to be searching for, a fixed blade knife, the sheath of which was left behind at the scene of the murders. A Smith & Wesson pocket knife taken from the house does not appear to match the description of the murder weapon. The warrant shows authorities were looking for any signs of blood, bodily fluids, or other DNA, like hair or fingerprints, but no such items were taken from the house. They were also searching for anything that may have belonged to any of the victims, as well as anything that may have indicated Kohberger was watching them or staking out their home. Police did seize 4 laptops, a cell phone, and several other electronic devices, along with dozens of articles of clothing. They also found, quote, a book with underlining on page 118, a green leafy substance in a plastic bag, black face masks, black gloves, and a black hat, which matches the description one of the surviving roommates gave to police, saying the attacker was, quote, clad in black clothing and a mask. Search crews also took, quote, a man's world drawing, a note from Bryan to Montana, and a note from Dad to Bryan. Investigators also tore apart the car Kohberger drove from Washington State to Pennsylvania with his father weeks after the murders, hauling away almost everything inside, including seats, headrests, even the gas and brake pedal. All right, let's bring in criminal defense attorney Richard Blok. Richard, thank you for your time today. So we went through that list of items seized, the black clothing, the knives, really stand out to me. Is there a high probability these items were directly involved that night?
Well, we certainly couldn't say anything about probability right now. We don't know if those were the knife, if they were the clothing, and obviously we have a long list of clothing that was seized here today. They're gonna be looking and trying to match that. I'm sure all that stuff is sitting at a crime lab right now, and they're going over it with a fine-tooth comb, trying to find blood, hair, anything else that might tie to that crime scene.
Absolutely. Well, some of these items, it's a little odd because the gun, full descriptions, manufacturer, serial number, but then there are other items. It just says knife or documents. And one that definitely stands out is what we had in that piece there, book with underlining on page 118. Richard, is there a reason some of these items would be described that way, almost to maybe withhold some of the specifics?
Well, that one certainly is an odd one. I couldn't tell you why they wrote book with underlining on page 118 and didn't give you the name of the book or a description of what type of book is, which they did in other places. They described what sounded like some textbooks and other things and notebooks and other places. Who knows on that one? It could certainly be to hide it, or it could be something as simple as the cover page was ripped off and it didn't have a title on the top of the book.
Very good point. How damaging could this evidence end up being to his defense?
Well, I think certainly they're looking for 2 things, obviously, here is motive, and they're looking for any other evidence that ties into the crime scene. Finding of blood on some of the clothing would be incredibly damaging, and motive would help with what is largely so far a circumstantial case and tying all those facts together. If they found some sort of writing that indicated his desire to commit murders or something like that, or that would certainly be potentially very damaging.
And what do you think? They took apart essentially the car, right? We know that they took the gas pedal, the brake pedal. Would there be some reason, though, to have kept the car intact?
Well, they're taking it apart because they're looking for anything that might be hidden inside of it. This is the kind of thing what we see often when cars are stopped for drug stops, that the whole car gets torn apart. Because in a car, most normal people don't realize that there are plenty of places to hide things inside a car where you wouldn't normally see them. So that's why they're tearing the car apart. They're looking through it for anything that might be in there or of course, they're also going to be looking for blood and other things that might be found in the carpet or, or underneath a latch or something like that in the car.
Absolutely. All right, Richard, thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.